Breaking news. Bitcoin's Pi cycle indicator is getting closer and closer to crossing. And when this yellow line crosses this green line, it will be the market cycle top. Take a look. 2021, yellow line crossing the green line at precisely the market cycle top. How about the prior cycle? Well, yellow line crossing the green line at precisely the market cycle top in 2017. How about the cycle before that? Well, we had two tops. Both of them were identified with the Pi cycle indicator. Yellow line crossing the green line at top 1. Yellow line crossing the green line at top 2. Now, wait till you see what I'm about to show you, because there are some huge clues in the charts, and we're gonna break it down move for move, pound for pound, and we're gonna decode this hidden message that the Pi cycle is delivering. But the main question is, are we in deep trouble as we are getting closer and closer to crossing? And how long can we expect before we see this cross? All of that and more jam-packed in today's video. Do you wish you were making more money in crypto? Do you want to recover those bad losses? Don't you just wish that there was buy and sell alerts that could be sent to your phone? Well, today, your dream is a reality. My indicator bundle is a one-time payment and unlock it for life. Get money-making buy and sell alerts directly to your phone. It works for Bitcoin and all altcoins. It's great for day traders, swing traders, and long-term holders. Whether you've been in crypto for 10 minutes or 10 years, sign up now and make 5 times more in this cycle with my indicator bundle. Best of all, this is the largest ever discount we have ever had on the indicator bundle. The problem? It's only for a limited time. Pay with crypto and save an extra $250. Plus, sign up right now and unlock 3 special bonus trade alerts valued at over $1,500 completely free. I literally can't make it any easier. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com/sale. Give yourself this gift you can use for life. Once you sign up, see if you're a lucky winner to add my hybrid indicator to your cart. Go now. The clock is ticking. cryptocrewuniversity.com/sale. Again, that's cryptocrewuniversity.com/sale. Now let's jump into it. We're on Bitcoin US dollar and we are on the daily chart. And what we have in front of us is the Pi cycle indicator. You can go into your indicators and pull it up. We're going to go over the settings here. The inputs, we have 2 moving averages on the charts, one in green, one in yellow. We have the 350-day moving average and the 111-day moving average highlighted in these colors shown here. Once you get it set up on your chart, make sure you're on the daily chart, and we are going to decipher these huge hidden messages we see here. Because what we have right now is a white circle, meaning price action just got above this green line for the first time in years. We haven't been above this green line literally since March 2021. It's been a long time. However, Bitcoin does the same exact moves when we get above. It's the same moves before we get above and the same moves after we get above that we can decode this hidden message based on pure bona fide facts. Now, as we dig into it, what you see are a couple white circles on your screen. Those correspond to the white circle we have here. More on that in a moment. What you see are some red circles on our screen. Those are very dangerous circles, one of which came right here in June 2019. When you dig back in time, we had another one in August 2012. Both of those were red circles indicating a very particular type of move. Let's break it down. When we get to our first red circle, what we notice is we had our market cycle top, and right on cue, we had our 2 moving averages didn't cross. What you'll see here is this was the very beginning. It takes a second to get enough data to have proper signals, right? So we did hold this yellow line as support. We did see a potential getting very, very close right near the market cycle top, but this was the very beginning of the cycle. We didn't have enough data for this to act accordingly. Now we had our market cycle top. We had a huge crash in prices down through not only one moving average, but both moving averages. We saw a cross down in these moving averages. And what we see happen next is a rally up ahead of our green line. This is where our red circle came into play. It's a very similar type of move that we saw right here, meaning we had our market cycle top. We did have the cross here. Price action plummeted below both moving averages, but it was the curvature, it was the structure, and it was the factual evidence that's in front of us that this was short-lived because it was too soon. And we didn't get back above this green line for several hundred days. In fact, it was 500 days until we got back above there and then made a new all-time high. Very similar to here, right? It was short-lived that we got above here, and we didn't get back above there for a couple hundred days, almost 200 days. So that is where we're at with the red circle. But there's huge clues that lead into the red circle. Take a look at the structure. What you'll see time and time again is we'll have our market cycle top. We'll have this huge gap here between our moving averages, and then we start to move into a narrow part of this structure. Once we move into the narrow part of the structure, we usually start to play with this green line. Sometimes we go above it, which are the red circles, but in this case, we didn't. But either way, we have a narrowing of our two moving averages. Look here, this is fat, this is narrow. This is not up for debate. These are just facts, right? And then once we had this narrow part, we start to widen again. From Mark, Steve's education made all the difference. We profited $50,000. From Dr. George, in just 1 week, I made $70,000 profit using Steve's indicators. Carl, I made 300% trade with his system. Go now. The clock is ticking. CryptoCrewUniversity.com/sale. What you'll notice here is that we had this fat part. We start to narrow and we start to widen again. What we see every single cycle is we have the fat part, we have the narrow part, and then we start to widen again. What we see is that Bitcoin doesn't get back above this green line until we have our widening again and then the narrow, right? In other words, when you look at it, we had the fat part, we had the narrow, we had the widening again, and then we had the narrow again, and then all-time high. So fat, narrow, wide, narrow, all-time high. Fat, narrow, wide, narrow, all-time high. Fat, narrow, wide, narrow, all-time high. That's what we see happening time and time again. It's the exact same pattern, the exact same frequencies, and our red circle identifies these areas that we got above the green line that were false signals. It was short-lived, and it will not remain above that green line. In fact, we're going to see a downfall in prices. Case in point, this red arrow, which means we got above this before we completed the pattern, and it wasn't ready to make a new all-time high, okay? We had the fat, narrow, and then we got above. We needed to have our widening again, and then the narrow again, and then get an all-time high. This was too early. That's why it took a couple hundred days to get back on schedule. Right here, we were right on schedule because we had the fat, we had the narrow, we had the widening, and then we had the narrow again, and then broke above this green line, all right? Now, what you'll see here in this red arrow, this identifies a very particular type in the market. It's another pattern that we see, and we're going to relay this information right here. What we notice is that we are having this pattern, and then we're going to get to the percentage between what this green line is and what this yellow line is. And we need to understand how close are we based on percentages. But first, let's look at our pattern. We had our all-time high. We crashed through. We had the fat. We clearly had the narrow. We clearly had the fat again. and we're clearly narrowing again. This is the pattern we're looking for that we've repeated in each and every cycle. So where are we in the cycle? We have to look at the pattern. We just showed that we had the fat already. We had the narrow already. We had the widening again already. And we're already in that narrowing part, which means that we're pretty deep within this bull run. It looked no further than our most recent rally, right? Our prior bull run. We had the fat, we had the narrow, we had the fat again, and we're in that narrowing right above the green level. That's where we're at right now. We're in this particular part of the phase. How about compared to the prior cycle? We had the fat, narrow, we had the widening again, and the narrow again, finally getting above the green line. Here we are in the cycle. We're in this phase of the cycle. When you look at it, this phase of the cycle, and again, back in 2013, here we are. We had the fat, we had the narrow, we had the widening again, narrow again, finally getting above the green. We are here. In this part of the cycle is where we battled with the all-time high, right? In this part of the cycle, it's where we battled with the all-time high and just made the all-time high. In this part of the cycle, that's where we battled with the all-time high and just barely made an all-time high. That's where we're at right now. We're right on schedule, we're right on cue, and when we take all of these facts, we can identify what's going to happen next. Take a look. As we dig into it, we understand the patterns of the fat and the narrow and the widening and the narrow. Let's take it a step further. Let's understand what percentage are we apart from one another, meaning this green line to this yellow line. And we're going to really hone in on what part of the cycle we're in. We're less than 30% between here. In other words, when you look a little bit earlier in the cycle, we were not 30%, we were more than 40%. So we're clearly narrowing. We're in that narrowing phase. And what we want to identify is, well, when were we in that narrowing phase before? And we repeated these patterns before and finally got above before. That's this white circle here. That's why I made this circle white. We're going to look at it because what we see happening here are very particular types of patterns. We have our white circle here. And right as we did this move, we were roughly a little bit less than the 30% between these lines, all right? Right here, right where our line is, just about 28, 29%, which is right where we're at right now. So that's why we have this red arrow identifying this circle. We're in this exact type of move right now. Finally getting above the green, being a little bit less than 30% gap, and you can see what happened after that. Narrowing, 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 until ultimately the top. That's where we're at right now as we speak with the pi cycle indicator. So let's make sense of all of this. We understand the patterns. We are in that final narrowing stretch of this pattern. And here's where it gets interesting. What we want to look at is how quickly we narrow. It tells us how far away from the top we are. Case in point, our past cycle. What we can see with this white circle, that's where we're at the moment, right? This narrowing happened super fast and it was very short-lived. From this white circle to the market cycle top, just around 100 days. However, from this where we're at right now, from this market cycle where we're at right now to the top was 200 days, literally twice as long. So what was the difference? Well, this one was relatively slow and methodical and not too parabolic, meaning our lines narrowed, but not really, really fast. You can see what happened here. Too fast. It was too parabolic, and our top was only about 100 days, where this one was 200 days. You can also see the prior cycle. Look at here. We finally got above here. This was our red circle. This was a false signal. Then we narrowed, then we widened again, and then we narrowed too quick. It was too parabolic. This run was too parabolic, and our lines had a cross. What you want to see is a methodical, based on market structure, move to the top. Look at how we respected market structure after moving above this green line. rally up here, came back down, confirmed structure, rallied up again, came back down to confirmed structure. What do I mean by confirmed structure? We literally rallied past structure here, and we had a crash down, and we crashed down to our prior cycle resistance. This is really respecting structure. Then we rallied again, rallied up here, coming back down to this market structure here. When you respect structure, the rally will last longer. It'll be healthier and more parabolic in the end. When you don't respect structure, like here, we just rally up. It's too fast, it's too parabolic, and it's short-lived. Just like it was back here with our first top. It was too parabolic. We didn't respect anything about market structure. Look, we just rallied straight to the moon. That's short-lived. That can't last forever. That's why we had a absolute parabolic collapse in that market as well. So what you want to see going forward right now, with less than 30% gap between these two lines, you want to see a methodical rise up that actually respects structure, and that means this move to our ultimate all-time high will be longer. If we don't respect structure, like here, it'll be short-lived. We could be 100-ish days from our top, according to this chart, according to what we see in front of us, right? If it's a parabolic rise. If it's not, we could be a couple hundred days from our market cycle top. It all comes down to the market structure and the respect of structure in a methodical move to the upside that's healthy, as opposed to an unhealthy, short-lived structure. That's what we have in front of us. How about a triple upload today? Leave a thumbs up on this video. Again, I don't take paid ads. I don't take paid sponsorship. I don't take any money to promote crap coins to try to trick people and deceive people, all to benefit my pockets. What I do instead, I only talk about what I built with my two hands that actually helps improve lives. The sale is right now. Go to cryptocrewuniversity.com/sale. Jump on it. This will help you tremendously. It's from my heart. It actually helps improves lives, and it's a game changer. I'll see you on the inside. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs. Check out what my indicator bundle can do. BitShib USD turned 10,000 into 30,000 with this quick buy and this quick sell. Bitcoin turned $10,000 into 147,000. Ethereum turned 10,000 into 270,000. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Don't miss out. Clock is ticking. Stop leaving money on the table. Sign up now and get buy and sell alerts directly to your phone for the rest of your life. Recover those losses and make 5x more in this market cycle. Pay with crypto and save an extra $250. Don't miss out. Offer ends soon. CryptoCrewUniversity.com/sale.